Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Radhika Singhal and I'm delighted to have you with us for another interesting episode of Teal Bytes. Today we have the pleasure of hosting Mr. Meheriar Patel, Group CIO of Jeena Company. With over 25 years of experience in IT, Meheriar has spearheaded digital transformation across diverse domains and geographies. A certified corporate director at IOD India and a Vigitrust Global Advisory Board member, he contributes valuable insights on corporate governance, sustainability, and security. His expertise includes smart supply chains, AI driven digitalization, blockchain, customer experience, data analytics, and compliance, all aimed at driving innovation, operational efficiency, and excellence. Meheriar, a very warm welcome to Teal Bytes, and it's great to have you with us today.
Thank you, Radhika, and always a pleasure to be there at for Teal Bytes.
Thank you so much. So, Meheriar, today I would like to get your insights on that given your experience in the logistics industry, how do you envision emerging technologies like drones, robotics, or autonomous vehicles shaping the future of logistics at Jeena Company? And are there any specific applications or opportunities you see for integrating these innovations into your operations?
Yeah, so I think very clear understanding in terms of the future of supply chain, uh, uh, and if you look at it, drones, autonomous vehicles are playing are the future of what we would be able to use for serving our customers.
Okay.
Having said that, there are some positive and negatives at this particular stage,
Okay.
which might not stay relevant for the future. And
Right.
obviously, things might change as we go by.
Yeah.
So, if you look at Gina, basically, we have looked at uh, trying to collaborate with drone service providers,
Okay.
looking at some use case which I will talk about in terms of what we have done
Mm.
and partnered with a drone company. Uh,
Okay.
how and where, in which segment of logistics, probably drone can play a major role in India.
Right.
And I think as Jeena Company, we are into major three to four verticals, mainly being into XM, number one. Number two, we are also a large player in contract and 3PL logistics. And
Okay.
the lastly being the express logistics business.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if you
Right.
look at the whole scenario of supply chain, primarily running an autonomous vehicle, we are talking about areas where it really benefits, and I think it's a thumbs up for remote locations
Okay.
where humans cannot reach,
Right. Right.
where there is
Like for
no,
example.
for example, there is no road network. For example, remote villages,
Okay.
and particular to segments like pharma,
Okay. Okay.
or a situation where you need to deliver something where there is absolutely no transportation which can
Mm.
go through. and
Okay.
and if you look at the India geography, basically there are lengths and breadths of that. uh,
Right.
we being in the metros probably will not be able to gauge that from here, but
Hmm.
the parties whom we have worked with have clearly identified that yes, there is a scope of working towards delivery vehicles, and especially drones, which can act as a good value in terms of rural networks.
Right.
So what we did almost years back, we tied up with a company called Tech Eagle,
Okay.
and Tech Eagle is basically playing a big role in terms of doing work on um drone projects.
Okay.
So the company is called Tech Eagle Innovation Private Limited. So we did a project with them called Medicine from the Sky, Telangana, and we
Okay.
partnered them with them for the full process as to how we can look at it. This was done in 2021, almost 3 years back.
Right, right.
And the confidence which it gives us was we executed a particular shipment in collaboration.
Okay.
We worked with them as a partner who clearly states as a logistics partner, and then there was a complete process aligned in terms of this engagement. So there was a project plan which was created. There was an objective timeline. Obviously, the stakeholders involved. So whenever a drone project is undertaken, there are some 8 to 10 major areas of collaboration, approvals, and timelines to those approvals, which becomes a big way of doing things as in a drone approach for
Okay.
really putting it into a practical scenario. So there is a
Okay.
lot of government interactions. We also interacted with Niti Aayog, World Economic Forum, DGCA, MOCA, AII. Also, an hospital was involved. And the project was successfully executed.
Okay.
And for 2021, we created a complete project report, which talks about the length and breadth of the product. So as Jeena, what we did is we executed something, we monitored what we did,
Right.
we documented the whole process.
Right.
So tomorrow, when I have the requirement, see, we are talking about 21, and we said that drone would be a big picture in India. But the realities are, it is only shaping up only in certain critical areas.
Okay.
Mainly being defense.
Okay.
Absolutely on defense area.
Right.
Other is rural delivery platforms, but it's not catching up so much.
Right.
And if you also see Amazon's or the big likes of Flipkart or anybody else, there are a lot of approval problems, especially in terms of A and B cities. Since it's a low flying object, hindrance of frequencies could be a big picture. When these are airborne. So I think it's still a long way for it to catch up.
Right.
But I believe that this catching up situation is going to be quickly unfolded if somebody sees a great amount of consistency in terms of a project handling end to end. So for example, today I am say an Amazon and I want to deliver a parcel. How does it work that if suppose I could look at only the C-grade cities or the remote cities where I can play a big role? Can I quickly implement there? So I think probably the game is that the time is not so far away into looking at autonomous vehicle really playing a role in the business area. But if you look at a use case situation, the dynamics is not giving you that type of economics. Okay. If I have to play a role in terms of a drone delivery, is the commercial attached to a project like this really viable? Okay. And especially in the India geographies where mankind, human resources are available in terms of doing things.
Correct. Yeah.
But what is transforming, I'll tell you, the other part of transformation is the sustainability piece, which is coming up rampantly very high. So if you look at a door-to-door delivery, the sustainability piece is coming into it, where the delivery partner is using resourceful vehicles, where the emission levels are almost zero to deliver. So if you look at a Zepto, you look at a Swiggy, the deliveries are happening on a non-fuel commodities, which is really helping us.
The electric bikes and
absolutely. So there is a great amount of transformation. Another part is that when you're talking about long distance vehicles, there are a lot of companies who are playing a role in terms of fuel efficient way of trucking movements within India. Okay. And probably that is another thing which is coming up in a very, very big way. Right. So the sustainability piece of using effective vehicles, giving out very less CO2 emission is something a focus area for corporates. So the shift has happened. The first comes the first. The sustainable piece has a precedent over a autonomous or a drone infrastructure.
Okay.
Because if you look at the ESG standard of a company, and especially on the corporate fronts, the ESG plays a very, very big role. And the
Right.
ESG for a corporate, whether an MNC in India or a Indian MNC outside, both have this mandate to see that how sustainability is one of the clear roadmaps for an organization.
Yeah,
So I
absolutely.
think what comes first, what is
Hmm.
effectively important for an organization to work, what is the precedent of
Hmm.
looking at what is required right now versus what can be looked at later. And also as an India geography, we are looking at very, very important that today employment uh, and giving the right employment to people is very, very important for us.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is what I would submit in terms of looking at nothing wrong with the drone technology,
Hmm.
but when can it come in is
Right. Yeah.
something that probably is a lookout for in terms of our future in terms of business.
Absolutely. I agree. Yeah. Like on one side, we're talking about sustainability and, like reducing, fuel emissions and all that. And then, so, yeah. So I totally understand and agree to what you say. But I'm sure that, it will somewhere over the next few years, it will catch up, I feel, like the whole drone technology and, because,
Yeah. So the part of the drone technology is today a big man's toy.
hmm, hmm,
It has to be converted into a useful synergy in terms of business use case deployed.
correct. Yeah.
And it has got the pros and cons also
Yeah.
in terms of putting it to an actual use.
Correct.
So if you look at it, the most important part where drone is coming into picture is the defense vertical,
Right.
and I
Right. Right.
think it's there is where it's making a difference.
Right.
So probably it's not commercially viable, I would say,
Hmm.
very,
Hmm.
very specifically.
Hmm.
That is also a hindrance for adoption.
Correct. Yeah. Which I feel
That's,
that over a period of time that will also be taken care of.
see, it has to come in.
Yeah.
There's no there is no leverage which say that it will not come in. But the point is when it will come in,
Right.
how soon it will come in, and
Yeah.
what is the set off for it. I believe that everything has a set off of launching something.
Hmm.
Because if it is a successful use case, then everybody follows the use case.
Correct. Correct.
So that stage for commercial adoption is not yet come, but
Hmm.
it is getting used for remote areas, specific industry segments,
Right.
surely getting used there, but
Okay.
no large scale adoption.
So it has already got implemented for remote areas and
Yeah. There are a lot of use cases in Telangana, Mizoram, northeast sectors. There are areas in north, top north.
Okay. Okay.
There are
Okay.
certain key use cases which really is making a difference. And
Okay.
there are sorties. It's like, see, it's an adoption. When I say that it is adopted for rural,
Hmm.
it's not a continuous delivery segment.
Right.
It could be a project based situation. It
Correct.
could be a need of an hour situation. It
Right.
could be a quick call of an
Yeah.
emergency that comes into a picture. So these
Right.
are the levels where it becomes very, very easy to adopt. Even if you're paying more, then you probably benefit out of it.
Correct. I totally agree. Meheriar, thank you so much, for your very, insightful response. It was really interesting to hear, that how, drones have actually been put to use. And, we definitely see a future also with it. I would love to hear, in detail at some point how, you went about, how the whole process happened. So it'll be great to connect, sometime to hear on that as well. So, Meheriar, thank you so much, for today.
Radhika, it was a pleasure to be on your channel. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, Meheriar.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.